Last Word. I imagine a lot of you viewing this would have already seen the first 2 episodes of The Last Word, but if you're new to the series and you're new to the concept, then this is simply just covering Saturday's games, nothing to do with Sunday's games or anything after that, so enjoy. Let's just get this one out of the road quickly. Dunfermline were utter pish yesterday. I'm honestly so confused as to how genuinely pish we were in almost every area of the pitch. I don't understand it. We played so well against Hearts the week before. Obviously we played similar against Ross County the week before that, but that's now 3 losses in a row no matter how you look at it, and to go from one week to the other being complete polar opposites, it's just so frustrating for a fan to watch. It's a short point, this one, but I'm moving on because I can't be arsed thinking about it anymore. Last Word, rotten. And here's a wee bonus one for the modern day goalkeeper, otherwise known as Lee Robinson. Stupid. He does love an argument with the opposition players, eh? But seriously, how many side volleys on Instagram are we going to see before it actually improves on the pitch? I particularly enjoyed the one where he lobbed it into a grassy bank the other day on Instagram. Class Robbo. We're still going to stay on the topic of yesterday's game, but we're going to focus on the winners and the team that didn't actually have to play extremely well to come out on top yesterday. Ayr United, of course. In my opinion, they're massive favourites to be up there for a title challenge. I was completely wrong in my prediction for the league. Of course it's still early days, but the way they're going, they didn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. My prediction of them finishing in 7th and Falkirk finishing above them looks like the worst bet of the century. Aye, I completely regret it. Lawrence Shankland, of course, the guy that's been banging form, still managed to have a goal to his name despite not playing very well, and Ayr came away comfortable 4-1 winners. Good guy Moffat was class, by the way. Last Word, domination. It might not have been a win for Wolves yesterday, and they perhaps didn't deserve it either, but they came away with a point. To get that against Manchester City, who are obviously highly tipped to retain the Premier League title for the 2nd year in a row, it's no mean feat. As I said, not the best performance and definitely one of the dodgiest goals you'll see. 1, offside. 2, it was a handball, but Wolves won't care about that. They've finally got their first point in the Premier League. Last Word, hope. Hearts just keep on going this season, eh? This time it was a 1-0 win away to Steve Clarke's Kilmarnock, and of course we know how much of a tough nut to crack they were last season. Top of the league, and no matter what happens in Sunday's games today, they're going to be 2 points clear at the top of the league, so it's all looking rosy up Tynecastle way. Last Word, unit. Arsenal finally got that first win under Unai Emery, and of course it came in a fixture where you really would expect them to win it. Both teams were looking for their first win of the season, and West Ham are still doing that. Arsenal came out on top, 3-1 winners, as I said. You'd expect them to win at the Emirates, but it's exactly what they needed. It just relieves that early bit of pressure that's on a new manager, especially after such a long reign from Arsene Wenger. Last Word, crucial. Now I'll be the first one to admit that I'm wrong on many occasions. In my prediction video, I've already said one that I've got wrong, so on more than one occasion I've been wrong already. But another team that I've massively underestimated this season so far is Greenock Morton. They didn't exactly have the best start to the Betfred Cup, but they've been absolutely rampant at the start of the league campaign, and they're joint top with Ayr United, proving that any point I make should be taken with a pinch of salt because I talk absolute shite. Well done Morton for proving me wrong and putting me in my place. Last Word, underestimated. We move on to the legend that is Stephen Dobbie. 6 hat-tricks in the last 12 months, including yesterday's one against Falkirk, and he also got one of those 6 against Falkirk in the last year as well, so he's now got 2 against them in the last 12 months. The way to describe a player as a legend gets chucked about too often these days. But players like this guy, players like Rory McAllister at Peterhead, they are the exact meaning of the word. They stick to their club and they continue to score goals year in year out, and they prove their class every single time. Last Word, legend. I actually feel quite uncreative with that, Ian. I was going to mention them in last week's episode, but I thought not to. They've kinda put themselves in the position this week to be in it. Fort William deducted points during the week for fielding an ineligible player, which puts them on minus points in the Highland League I think they are. As I said, they're now sitting on a negative points total. They'd already lost their first 5 games with a minus goal difference of something like minus 48 or something. But they scored 2 yesterday, but still conceded 8. Last word, grim. If you go look at your window right now, you'll see maybe a few clouds in the sky. One cloud is Dunfermline's cloud, and it has one silver lining, and that's the fact that Falkirk are still worse than us at the start of this season. It's the only way to look at it in a positive light just now. They've got 0 points, they've conceded 6 goals, and they've only replied with 1 goal in return. And they sit rock bottom of the league after Alloa got a point away to Inverness. I'm not going to sit and blow the trumpet too much because it could all be turned round next week if we lose to Inverness and Falkirk get their first win. But what a way to shut down any early season optimism for the Bairns. Last word, this one's aimed at me really, clutching. Liverpool sit pretty at the top of the Premier League and have won their first 3 games without conceding a goal for the first time since the 2013-14 season. They're slowly turning into very serious title challengers, and it's not exactly a very bold claim to make. And I maybe shouldn't be making claims because I might jinx Liverpool considering my predictions in the past few weeks, but I think they'll be a really strong side this season and they'll run Man City far closer than they did last season. Last word, boss. Roberto Firmino, by the way, class player. But more importantly, a good guy. And there he is, new member. And that's it for this episode of The Last Word, guys. Cheers for watching. If you did enjoy, please give it a like. Again, appreciate the support on the videos recently, including Punt It Long and the Matchday vlogs. But The Last Word's had a tremendous kind of reception from you guys since it started a few weeks ago. So if you can keep that up, that'd be absolutely fantastic. And thanks again. Comment down below anything you thought about the points I made and subscribe for more of this type of content. And until the next one, I'll see you then. Cheers, guys.